Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Boxiest, and today we're going to continue the What If series. What if events had gone differently? And in this What If, we're going to change the history of Cobra Kai. What if Hawk stayed in Cobra Kai during the events of Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 2? If you haven't seen the previous parts, I would recommend you go watch them before continuing this one. Spoiler warning for Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 2, you have been warned. So in this timeline, Terry Silver's Cobra Kai would arrive at the Saikai Taikai, and Hawk and Tori would be team captains. Hawk would look at the other dojos in the Saikai Taikai, and he would think that Cobra Kai was the best dojo there. And Hawk would challenge the other dojos to a kicking competition, just like Quan did in the original timeline. Sean wouldn't want to hang out with the rest of the Cobras, so Sean and Kenny would be on their own. Eventually the Captain's War Challenge would begin, Cobra Kai would compete, and Hawk would want to go on offense. So Hawk and Kyler would go after the other dojos. Hawk and Kyler would be fighting aggressively. Kenny would start fighting some of the other dojos, and Sean would want to protect Kenny. So Sean and Kenny would team up against the other dojos. Tori and Devin would stick together. Tori would want to fight smart, and she would use a combination of offense and defense. But one of the other dojos would take down Kyler and Devin. And much like in the original timeline, Cobra Kai and the Iron Dragons would remain. The rest of the Iron Dragons would still walk off, and Zara and Axel would be left to fight the Cobra Kais. Hawk would want to use Sean to fight Axel, and Tori and Kenny would team up to fight Zara. Sean would jump in to fight Axel, but Axel would be bigger than Sean, and he would knock him back. Hawk would get mad, and he would rush in to fight Axel, but Axel would sweep his leg, and Hawk would fall on the ground, so the Iron Dragons would win. The rest of the challenges would continue, but Cobra Kai wouldn't do so well. Kyler and Devin would always be the first ones eliminated, and they would be near the bottom of the leaderboard, and Hawk would get mad. Hawk would be mad at Devin and Kyler for always getting beat, but Sensei Kim would tell them that was enough, and she would want to talk to Silver in private. She would tell Terry Silver that Lee and Park were their weakest links, and she would suggest that they replace them with some of her students from Korea. Terry Silver would agree, so Sensei Kim would call for Yoon and Kwon to come to Barcelona. The Saikai Taikai would continue. Cobra Kai would still face Polar Slate, and they would still have to knock the other dojo off the platform. Hawk and Tori would start off. Tori would be using a combination of offense and defense, while Hawk only used offense, and eventually Hawk would be knocked off, so Kyler would join Tori. They would continue knocking down some of their opponents, but Kyler would also be knocked down, so Devin would join Tori, and she would still sacrifice herself to save Tori. So Kenny and Tori would continue fighting, and they would finish the fight. So Cobra Kai would stay in the Saikai Taikai, and the next morning Yoon and Kwon would arrive in Barcelona, but Yoon and Kwon still wouldn't get along, and they would replace Devin and Kyler. Devin and Kyler would be surprised. Terry Silver would say that they needed a change in leadership. Hawk would be demoted as captain, and Yoon would take his place, and Hawk would be mad. But Sensei Kim would say that Yoon was the best student in her dojang. She would say that Hawk always rushed in a battle, and that it almost cost them the tournament. And she would say that Yoon was a natural leader. Hawk and Yoon would want to have a rivalry, but Yoon would ignore Hawk. Kwon would make fun of Hawk for losing the captain spot to Yoon, so Hawk and Kwon would have a rivalry. The tournament would carry on. Sensei Kim would meet Kreese in Barcelona in secret, and that is where I'm going to end part 2. Thank you guys for watching. What do you guys think would have happened if Hawk stayed in Cobra Kai during the events of Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 2? Let me know in the comments below. YouTube lets me know that the majority of you are not subscribed, so if you guys could subscribe, that would be much appreciated. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. And I'll see you guys next time.